Так.
Really, guys? Why is this so bad? And stay down.
Oh, perfect timing, Yagami-san. And here I was about to go without you. Are you ready to visit Mamiya-san?
Опять из-за такси плачу.
Remember, we're speaking to a victim here, Yagami-san. One whose assailant we defended in court. If we had tried to make an appointment, she probably would have declined outright.
Not sure showing up unannounced is much
Они
better.
идут беседы с той бабой, которая якобы сексуально домогался.
Yes, there's no way around it.
Тот подзащитный наш.
Well, here goes nothing.
He goes nothing.
Yes?
I'm Shirasaki from the Genda Law Office, the attorney for Mr. Akihiro Ehara. You may remember me from the hearings.
Why are you here?
Блять, она что, не прозвонила, типа? Ой,
I
пиздец.
understand, but we have a pressing matter that directly concerns you.
Ну, она не настоящий юрист, у нее дохуя времени так подходить. Надо даже договариваться о встрече.
I'm sorry, but the trial's over and done with. You know I can legally turn you away.
You're right, but I'm only asking a moment of your time. Please, would you mind?
I don't have time for this. I'm going to have to ask you to leave.
Wait, before you do that. Sorry to butt in. I'm Yagami, a detective helping Saori here out.
And?
Are you aware of the trending video that's leading people to believe Ehara committed murder? Thing is, the victim was confirmed to be alive in Yokohama until the morning of your own incident. And since Ehara was on the train with you, they're ruling him out as a murder suspect.
So, what is it you're getting at?
I'm just trying to ensure you're in the clear from any of that unfortunate business. If we could do this now, we'd never bother you again. All we need is 10 minutes of your time.
How absurd.
We're only trying to help, but if later would work better for you, we could always come back another time. With our supervisor, of course. That visit would probably be more formal. There'd be paperwork, audio tapes, you know the drill. You'll want to clear your schedule.
I really don't have time for any of that.
No, I understand, and it's entirely our fault. We thought we'd do this casually, but we really should have been more by the book. But it is a murder case, so we do have to make sure our paperwork is in order here. Now, would you prefer to schedule a date to accommodate a more formal interview?
You said 10 minutes if we do it now, right?
We'll make it as painless as possible.
All right. Hold on.
We really do appreciate it.
Well, I'm impressed. I'm also not sure I should trust a word you say ever again.
Really? I did get us in the door, didn't I?
I'm joking. I do appreciate the help. Now let's not screw this up. This is likely the only conversation we'll have with Mamiya-san.
Hello.
Нихуя себе дом.
Hi there.
Hi. Again, we apologize for the intrusion.
Let's just get this over with already.
Okay, bye-bye.
We'll make this quick.
What the? Suspicious. Uh-huh. Hey, what the? Suspicious. Hey, suspicious. What the?
Что делать там?
Suspicious. Suspicious. Hey.
So, Doc, I've already told the police and the court everything they could want to know about that morning.
I'm sorry to put you through this again, but would you mind going over those details with us?
What else is left to discuss?
I understand how pressured you might feel.
I've gone over this so many times. I wonder if pressing charges was even worth it.
No, what you did was both brave and inspirational. Many victims are afraid to come forward for any number of reasons. Your voice might give them courage to find their own.
Ironic. Hearing this from that predator's defense team.
Well, perhaps.
Would you mind walking us through that day from the beginning?
It's nothing so mysterious. I was just on my way to work when some man grabbed my butt. That's all it was.
Nothing else was out of the ordinary that day?
Correct.
Not to pry, but where is your husband today?
Still at work? He usually doesn't get home until later. On that note, I have to feed my son, so let's get this wrapped up soon.
We'll try our best to. Moving along. On that day, you and Ahara-san boarded the train bound for Ikebukuro, correct? Had you ever seen the man before then?
No. At least not that I can recall. How many times must I go over this? Your lawyer friend here already knows everything I have to say. What do you gain by getting me to repeat things?
That's the thing. Yagami-san here is a specialist. He can take whatever you repeat, analyze it, and draw up an entirely new conclusion. Right?
Of course. That's exactly why I'm here. In the security footage as you stepped onto the train, it looks like Ihara-san stepped right behind you. Were you aware of his presence at this point?
I was. It felt like someone kept pushing up against me with no sense of personal boundaries. I remember second-guessing myself at the time, thinking it was normal for the train to be that packed.
Then the train took off while you were stuck in that situation.
Yes. And then I felt the back of his hand against me. It kept getting worse from there, to the point where he went under my skirt. And the pig had the nerve to write it off as an accidental brush on a crowded train. But that kind of touch wasn't accidental. He even grabbed at me.
Truly awful. And I do sympathize. I've also had to turn in an abuser like that. Personally speaking, some men can't wait to debase themselves at the first opportunity.
Why would you say that and look at me?
I just stood there, frozen. I couldn't see who was touching me. I had no idea what to do. I wanted to scream. But what if he just played it off? So I decided I would bear it till the next station.
Are you okay, Mommy?
I'm fine, sweetie. We're just having a bit of grown-up talk. Are you hungry?
Uh-huh.
Then go read your book and wait over there for Mommy.
Там даже свет выключен.
We're almost
Подсоб.
done.
You said the abuse lasted the entire 6 minutes between Ikebukuro and Shinjuku Station. Did you see the groper's face at any time during that span?
No. I was too terrified to look. And I thought, even if I did, he'd just pull away and escape. But just as the train was pulling into Shinjuku, I reached back and grabbed the hand on me. That's when I saw his face. Of course, he shook me off as the doors opened, but I'd already gotten it clear. He must have known I could turn him in at that point. So he ran.
Right. That was captured by the station's security cameras.
Great job tailing him in such a crowded space. On that note, did you ever happen to lose sight of Ihara-san?
This cat was pretty easy to spot, and no one else was bolting off the platform like that, so I never lost sight of him. At that point, I could feel my voice returning, so I just screamed. That man grabbed me!
I'm glad there were good Samaritans nearby.
For sure. And there were a lot of smartphones out, so I figured there was no way for him to get away with it. I was so relieved.
I see. I think I've got the gist of it. But now we've got a piece of evidence that contradicts what you've told us.
What do you mean?
Well, on the same day, at 6:30 a.m. in Yokohama, a student teacher named Hiro Mikoshiba was sent off to work by his mother. But he was soon abducted near his home, only to be found dead much later in Ijincho.
Is that...
According to the video, Ihara-san here is the murderer.
what?
He killed Mikoshiba in cold blood to get vengeance for his bullied son. His kid was about to graduate high school, but instead, he took his own life. So Ihara took it upon himself to punish his son's tormentor.
That's awful.
But now we come back to the issue here. If this footage is authentic, then Ihara-san couldn't have been your assailant. The victim's estimated time of death and Ihara-san's time of arrival in Tokyo simply don't allow for it. It's just not possible for someone to make that commute. But there's the flip side. If Ahara-san was in fact your assailant, it would mean this murder footage is a fabrication.
I don't know what you expect me to say after all this.
Right? Now you know how we're feeling. That's why we came to see if you had any leads for us.
So that's what this is about.
After hearing your story, I have no doubt you endured a lot that day. Which would obviously mean that murder video was faked.
Then, who shared that video? And why?
Wish I knew. Based on the quality, something this convincing would need quite a budget. Whether it's CG on top of real murder footage, or just a rock-solid AI creation, no way it was cheap. So why go through all this effort to fake a murder? Who would benefit from it? But I have to say, I feel much closer to piecing this puzzle together with your help today. Thank you very much for your time.
Yes, and rest assured, this will be the last time you see us. Our apologies for the unexpected visit. And for dredging up unpleasant memories.
It's fine. So long as this is really the end of it all.
Да, конечно, это юрист, это просто пизда, блядь, она вообще с людьми не умеет общаться.
I'd like to report Mamiya-san's account to the rest of the team. Can I count on you to be there?
Sure. Let me
All right.
Yo, me.
Hey, I just got back to Kamurocho.
All good here, man. What's with you?
I mean, they did run their mouths, but... Anyway, I'm heading to Genda so Sari-san and I can go over what we learned.
You're the boss. As for me,
Я так понимаю, с ней... Бля, что меня перед дверью оставили? Чтобы я типа мог не идти, не продолжать основную историю. Но я уже здесь, мне просто впадло потом бегать. Здравствуйте
Are
всем.
we ready? Let's start with our visit to Mamiya-san.
Yeah.
So, the victim's story is completely in line with her.
That's correct. There wasn't anything new to pick up.
Unfortunately.
In which case, should we look into the murder video instead? Like, figure out how
Возможно,
they
это
made
не
it?
он был. За жопу лапало.
Let's
В
not
конце
get
только
ahead
он
of
был.
ourselves. Whether that tape's fake or real, someone had to put it online, right? Do we have any theory?
Well, the footage showed enough of the surroundings to make the crime. As somebody who's been there, I can confirm that the blood splotches match what you see in the footage. Which means...
Просекьютор? Хуй
Those
знает.
detectives for Kanagawa. They'd spoken with Sari-san about the case. Maybe they uploaded the murder video, so they could get to
Не,
Ahara
вряд ли.
and question him about Mikoshiba. But don't forget, up until the video went public, HQ refused to let Kanagawa PD anywhere near Ahara. But now that everyone's seen Ahara commit murder, the time for department competition is over.
If that's the case, the detectives' plans went south. Remember the position the higher-ups are because of the prosecution's stance on the video. The police can't make it. In other words, all the detectives would have done was make it harder to question a
Not only that, don't you think it'd be way...
Yeah, I doubt that. But at least we've eliminated one.
I
Is
get
it?
that you're... That prosecutor in charge... He posted Mikoshiba's murder footage online to ruin Ahara's reputation.
Why would he need to ruin him? He was already convicted as a sex. Do you really have that?
I agree.
I don't...
Hey, this isn't.
Да не, но я это исключаю. Ну просто, блядь, либо Ихара, либо Дэд, наверное.
The murder...
Сообщники.
I also agree with
But in that case, what would their motive...
Maybe they wanted to make a mockery of the police, or even the whole system.
Huh?
We know Ihara got himself convicted for groping, so he'd have an alibi for Mikoshiba's. But then, his conspirators turned it around by uploading the murder, almost as if to say, look how he got away.
I see. Yeah, that does make it sound like he's...
That's well and good. But I'd like to shift. Let's talk about the actual fabrication of the video.
Well, the true culprit would be taped... That's how they'd approach it in a Hollywood.
But then, wouldn't you be able to see?
Tsukumo-san...
We've been... If we take...
Then if that's the case...
Before meeting with Yui Mamiya, Didn't you mention that perhaps the real...
But we couldn't find an opportunity for the swap to happen, remember? From the moment he set foot...
But wait.
Huh?
Remember how we mocked up a diagram of the Shinjuku Station platform?
Yeah. There's a point where Ahara wasn't on camera at all.
What is this point you...
Let's all go over the diagram so that everything will be clear. Here's what I want you to see. What the... It's very brief, but there's a moment where Ihara and Mamiya-san can't be seen by the security cameras. The dotted lines on the arrow represent the camera's blind spot.
It does appear so. So you're saying this is where the groper, the fake Ihara, traded places with the real...
Can't say it's impossible, right?
Right. Except if that actually happened, Mamiya-san would have been right behind them at the time. Could the two really swap places without her noticing?
In a crowd like that, I think it's...
If that really was Ihara's plan, then I'd say he was being careless.
Careless? How?
Well, on the day of the incident, the station was packed for morning rush hour. That means there was no solid guarantee the assailant could make the switch. He could have been nailed by any random passerby before reaching the blind.
Good point. Not only that, if Mamiya-san had called for help while the train was still moving, then the first Ihara would have been caught before even reaching the platform.
Oh, I mean...
Think about it, Yagami-san. Why would Ihara's accomplices meticulously plan only to leave such a crucial component to chance?
Oh,
as
just...
True. Good work, Hoshino-kun. In fact, I think that may back up my own take.
Yeah?
What if everything, including the appearance of leaving the plan to chance, was part of...
Can you expound?
I'm saying I agree that such an airtight alibi wouldn't have allowed for contingency, and that takes the question to another level. Just how far did they line...
Are you saying there's more to it than we discussed?
Блин, бред какой-то.
Well, Kanagawa Pete, the body had been
Of course.
Was that all? You made it
No,
sound
hang
like...
on. Ihara secured his alibi for the murder by swapping with a stand-in for them to be able to pull that off.
Right.
Я поисключаю просто все.
The place used that way,
I don't mean to
So,
if you want to
no.
yes.
Was that
no,
all?
hang on. Ihara secured for them to be...
Right.
I know this one.
Huh?
Bear with me. Let's say Mamiya was in on this and knew about the imposter in advance. If that's the case, the swap could happen right in front of her and no one but the three of them would know.
You're saying the victim of a groping conspired with her assailant before...
Let me just... Now, if Ihara and they can trade places in the blind spot with impunity. Conversely, if Mamiya wasn't in on the plan, the idea of a swap would never work. We can say with certainty that she could have even called attention to that way, the people around her, the rest is as we know it.
Hold that thought. If your theory is accurate, what about Ihara's... Remember that fibers of the victim's under...
Well, that can also be explained by For example, while the stand-in was showing himself at the security cameras, Mamiya could have easily provided Ihara access to a pair of underwear at the same time. Maybe the stand-in loitered around for so long because he was letting everyone else get themselves in place. We can work out the other details later. But the point is, Ihara's murder alibi is shot if Mamiya was involved. In summary, it's possible that Ihara disgraced himself to secure an unshakable...
I'll concede that it's an avenue.
And when it comes to the prosecution, plus they can't question Ihara about Mikoshiba's...
So he managed...
Well, the school, no surprise for...
What's up?
The obvious chip here's so what?
Yeah, or maybe Ihara...
Enough to make...
What info?
I'll pull her in.
Oh,
What's that?
if Ihara wanted to use this crime as a murder alibi, but if he had chosen a victim who stayed silent, then nothing would have come of it. A solid plan would need to eliminate, which means Mamiya being an accomplice.
That's true.
Looks like Ihara pulled... Once we learn how he's connected to Mamiya, we can root out the rest of his...
Let's see. According to her file, her maiden name is Yui Suzuki. 30 years old, originally from Ota, Tokyo. Attended a private high school called...
Huh.
Met her husband on the job. Her husband, Taichi Mamiya. It's 6 years ago, she gave birth to their only son, Sotakun.
Hold on. You said she went to Kurakawa Academy? I heard that name in Ijincho. Didn't I just go there?
That's Seiryo High you went
That's
to?
what it was. What? When I went to scope out the murder scene, there were these 3 guys watching the detectives and me. They told us they were just checking things out.
You have any ID on
Will my license...
Akaike-san.
What's that got to do with anything?
I found the Kurakawa Academy website. Looks like it's in Tokyo, specifically in Ota.
What?
Едем туда.
Girls there get such cute uniforms.
You little... You want to start all over from...
Wait, I've seen that uniform before too, actually.
А, да, там
On
эта
an old
училка в
picture
этой
of a
форме была.
teacher at Seiryo High.
Она замешана вместе
Hara's son confided in her.
за своего ученика.
Is she actually a Kurakawa grad too?
Это все банда, наверное.
I don't know Sawa's...
Could this mean they're actually linked? The victim and...
It's a tenuous link at best.